This lecture is about the last type of paradigms, which is called the comparable paradigm. The comparable paradigm consists of three forms only: the stem, the comparative form, and the superlative form. We have three forms only. Why do we call it a comparable paradigm? Why don't we call it an adjective paradigm, the adjective paradigm, just like the noun paradigm, the verb paradigm, and the pronoun paradigm? The reason is that not only adjectives can be included in this paradigm, but we have some other parts of speech which can be included in this paradigm. So let's be familiar with these parts of speech that can be included in this paradigm. The first part of a speech that can be included in this paradigm is the adjective. But not all adjectives follow the comparable paradigm. In fact, we have two types of adjectives. The first one is the one-syllable adjectives, like large, hot, big, nice, kind, tough, small, and other adjectives. All of these adjectives, the adjectives that consist of one syllable only, they follow the comparable paradigm. So we can say large, larger, largest, hot, hotter, hottest, big, bigger, biggest. So if we have one syllable adjective, we can have it in the comparable paradigm. The second type of adjectives that can be included in the comparable paradigm is the two-syllable adjectives that end in ly or y. So the adjectives that consist of two syllables and end in ly or y, they can be included in the comparable paradigm, like lovely, lovely, friendly, friendly, two syllables, happy, happy, two syllables, busy, busy. All of these adjectives consist of two syllables and they end either in ly or in y. So they follow the comparable paradigm. I can say lovely, lovelier, loveliest, friendly, friendlier, friendliest, happy, happier, happiest, etc. The second part of a speech that can be included in the comparable paradigm is the adverb. But not all adverbs. Few adverbs that consist of one or two syllables can follow the comparable paradigm. For example, fast, early, often, etc. So we have a few adverbs that consist of one or two syllables. They can be included in the comparable paradigm. Fast consists of one syllable only. Early consists of two syllables, early. Often, often. So we have two syllables. These adverbs can follow the comparable paradigm, can be included in the comparable paradigm. For example, fast, faster, fastest. Early, earlier, earliest. Often, oftener, oftenest. In addition to that, we have only one preposition. The third part of a speech is a preposition. We have only one preposition that can be included in the comparable paradigm, which is near, the preposition near. So we can say near, nearer, nearest. These are the parts of speech that can be included in the comparable paradigm. We have one-syllable adjectives, two-syllable adjectives that end in ly or y, few adverbs of one or two syllables, and one preposition. The other adjectives and adverbs are preceded by more and most instead of er and est. So those adjectives and adverbs that are not included in the comparable paradigm can take the comparative and the superlative degrees not by adding er or est, but by adding more and most before them. For example, the adjective beautiful cannot take er. For example, we cannot say beautifuler or beautifulest, but we can say more beautiful and most beautiful. In the comparable paradigm, we can have irregular and suppletive forms because few adjectives and adverbs have suppletive and irregular forms in the comparative and superlative positions. Let's have some examples. For example, the adjective good. In the stem position, we have good. In the comparative position, we have better. In the superlative position, we have best. This adjective does not take er and est. We cannot say gooder and goodest, although it consists of one syllable only, but this adjective has better in the comparative form and best in the superlative form. And notice that better and best are both suppletive forms because they are totally different from the adjective good. The adverb well is in the stem, it is well. In the comparative form, it is better. And in the superlative form, it is best. Again, just like the adjective good, we have two suppletive forms. We cannot say weller or wellest, the comparative and the superlative forms of well, because this adverb, for this adverb, we have better in the comparative form and best in the superlative forms, two suppletive forms because they are totally different from the stem well. Another example is the adjective bad. In addition to the adjective ill, in both adjectives, the comparative form is worse and the superlative form is worst. So we have bad, worse, worst, ill, worse, worst. I cannot say badder, baddest, iller, illest, because these adjectives, they take the suppletive forms worse, worst for the comparative and the superlative forms. The adverb badly has the same condition. I cannot say badly or badliest, but I say worse and worst. So again, we have two suppletive forms in the comparative and the superlative forms. The adjective few can have two forms. The irregular form with er, est, and the suppletive form, less, least. So with few, I can say few, fewer, fewest, or few, less, least. So we have two forms, regular and suppletive forms, with the adjective few. And of course, both of them are required. If I ask you about the comparable paradigm of the adjective few, you have to mention both, fewer and less, fewest and least. Both of them are required. The adjective little has also two forms, the regular and the suppletive form. I can say little, littler, littlest, or little, less, least. Both of them are correct and both of them are required. For much and many, in the comparative form we have more for both of them, and in the superlative form we have most for both of them. So we have two irregular forms, more and most, for much and many. The last adjective, old, has two forms, the regular and the irregular. Older, oldest. This is the regular by adding er-est without changing the word. Old, older, oldest. And the irregular is old, elder, eldest. So this adjective has two forms, regular and irregular.